Hey, welcome and welcome back to the channel. This is Arts of the Round Table. I think that it'd be really cool to just hang out today. Which is what we're gonna do. Use all the okay. Start adjusting. Hopefully you guys can hear me a little bit better now. But yeah, we're just chilling. I might where's my hat at? So I started to figure out what was happening with my audio is that my microphones, my lavalier mics, were muting. Well, were have some type of noise cancellation or background cancellation, and it was choosing my music over my voice. So I'm going to turn the music a little low. Like that. Don't matter, we're still going to have a good time. So, pop my head in here. Just letting you guys know if you are on the vertical stream, you can switch over. The link is on the chat there. I'm going to pin it. No, I won't pin it. But it'll just be on the chat there, so check it out. All right, so I'm going to start removing some open windows so that my computer won't lag. So what I'm going to be doing, I am going to be doing a tribute piece. Thank you, Dagger. Appreciate that. Thank you for the assist of the Rocketeer, Dave Stevens, the Rocketeer. And I wanted to do something close to a full cover, which is what I've been doing a lot lately. Do we have any of his covers here? Some more for the chapters. Like those are pretty cool. That's an iconic piece also. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do today. I got some references from his work and some other artists' work up on Pinterest, but I just needed really just looking at the images so I can stay in character, as they say. These are so beautiful. Yeah, I love this piece. So I can stay in character and just mess around. All right, so I'm gonna keep that up because I love that image. I think that's close to not quite what I'm gonna be doing, but it will be something. Get my hands warmed up. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day. Again, welcome back. This is Arts of the Round Table. My name is Mello. It is March 4th, 2026, I hope. All right, let's get going. This is so funny. I think this might be the last few lines from this pencil because it got chewed up. We'll put some work on that. So, all right, it's nice and quiet. Move that music behind me. Hopefully it doesn't distract. All right, so let me see. I'm thinking of this as a cover. So I'm just gonna do some divisions. I think I'm gonna put him standing here on the top. Maybe steal that architectural background or the Art Deco style background. And then I'm gonna have him maybe in flight here. So 2 pieces, him standing, posing, him here. And let's just see. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the page. Give me 1 second. Man, I drew so light, I can't see my mark. All right, I'll start it from the bottom. All right, your boy's having a hard time here. Just putting lines on the paper. Well, yeah, my full intention today is going to be pretty much a full day today. I'm going to try to do the pencil work today, do the pencil drawing this morning. Then I'm going to sign out. It looks crooked. And I'm going to ink it later on today on another live. So a 2-piece, because I would really like to try to get this set up so that I can paint it tomorrow or on Friday. That's my center. Usually, I've noticed that on my compositions, I use basically 2 forms of alignments. I use the rule of 3. If you don't know what the rule of 3 is, it's basically this. Let me see if I can get it in a spot where it doesn't get too much glare from my camera. The rule of 3, and you would use these points for interests. For instance, if you was going to do, like, for instance, if I wanted to, I could have the Rocketeer focused on this panel here, and then clouds or background elements to keep him in perspective or in compositional symmetry, wordings. But I've noticed that I use this one a lot. I have used this looking over my old drawings, and I've noticed that this is really the compositional frame that I use the most. It's kind of interesting. What's going on, Saboteur? Good morning. I was just nerding out about compositional frames. And do you, you know what, I'm not even going to bother you so early with art questions, man. Good morning. First, how are you? I'm glad you're here. And you caught the horizontal. Check you out. So the only the thing I've decided that I'm going to try to do the Rocketeer standing and him flying underneath. That's pretty much it. I've been trying to work on getting full figures. Oh, sugar. Oh yeah, little cafecito, little coffee for lead. To answer you, no. Yeah. Hot diggity. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So if I'm gonna make him inflect here, I can mess around with the shoulders. I can mess around with a little bit of the backpack. But basically, I want the helmet. Hey, because the helmet's gonna. I want that to be the piece. Because one of the things that Dave Stevens did on his drawings, which I love, is that he shows Cliff Secord's eyes inside the suit, inside the helmet. So that's what I want to do. I want to show his eyes like in shock here in the bottom. I'm going super rough because I know I'm going to tighten it up later. And I want to make sure. And he has these things here. Yeah, man, I'm just basically, I'm going to consider this a tribute piece for the character and for the artist. It didn't dawn on me, while I was doing all this. No, it's good, babe. Thank you. The research and thinking about it and going back and watching that documentary that I'm selling here on Amazon, that he passed away in March 11th of 2008. So that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to do that. Coming right towards the camera. Does Larson have one of those type of a rocket? I'm gonna have to peek. I am super guilty of like only looking at some of these artwork superficially, and not following stories or or the comics, because I don't read Savage Dragon. I don't read it at all. Like I used to in the '90s, and that's it. I kind of went away from it for a long time. All right. I'm sure all of this is off proportion, but it is what it is. And then I can do the rocket. Ah, yes. I know exactly who. She has the bomber jacket and just like undies. What is Ricochet? Is it Ricochet? Yes. Yes. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get the book out. You don't read any comic? Yeah. Yeah. My collection grew. Oh, she's not in here. Did she come later on? I thought he had an image of her. I don't. Yeah, I'm looking. I'm just looking through his artist edition. I thought that was her. I thought that was her here. But from what I remember, she has goggles. So I can't recall if I seen her. I thought I saw her in one of these shots. But anyway, I know exactly who you were referring to. Yeah, I went into the trade paperbacks or the collected editions and that type of stuff. Like there's an Ollie's. I don't know if you guys know what an Ollie's store is. Up north, it would be kind of like a Building 19 or a Ocean State job lot. they basically sell I wouldn't say secondhand stuff, but they would sell the overrun. So if a comic had overrun a bunch of issues, they'll get them and sell them at discount. Sorry, comic book industry, but I do buy your books at a discounted price. Still love you though. All right. So she's not in here, but yes, we know exactly who we are referring to. She does look cool. But I forgot about her. So, move my mic. Yeah, let me adjust my coconut. All right, up there. All right, so I think we're cooking with fire so far. I'm not gonna put too much detail because it's not gonna be. I just want to try to get the look right. It never looks as effortless as he does it. It's such a cool design. Let me get my Okay, that's my kneaded. I don't like using my kneaded eraser when I have my gloves on. It's because it feels funny. But I think we're good. I think he'll look good here. It'll help me figure out how to do all the amazing folds. And I'm gonna ink it. I'm gonna ink it with my brushes. He was a prolific. Dave Stevens was a prolific inker with the brush. I really don't care proportion wise. And maybe I could do some speed lines. But then it would have to be curved. Speed lines, that here, that here, that here, that here. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to rework the way the helmet is positioned. But that's okay. But he is one of the coolest characters, just in appearance. I don't know what is it with us in our generation to have such a love affair with that era. Simpler times. And then I can maybe make his hands here. Anguished Jacket Fud Views. Is that from Twitch? But you guys, yeah, we can see. I found because last night, before I went to bed, as I was doing some research on just design and seeing what was on YouTube for the character, which surprisingly isn't a lot. But I did find a really cool video of 5-6 artists legit comic artists: Dan Fraga, Art T-Bear, uh, Billy Tucci, uh, La, Lepresti. One of the I'm butchering his last name, but they had a group, and all of them were drawing an homage to the Rocketeer, and they all of them. Dan Fraga's version looked dope. Alrighty, all right. So I think I have. So if this was a full comic, then the Rocketeer title would be up here. I may have done this guy too big, unless this was going to be the cover all along and just do smoke. But I really did want to do another piece of him standing compositionally. Well, I'm just gonna have to do another one. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll just focus on this one, the Rocketeer. Let me see if I can do it. Just like that, that, and then the E in the middle, T, E, E, R. So that means that this is just going to be fire effect, which is okay with me because I've been trying to figure out how to draw fire effect. Well, depending how quickly I can draw this, maybe I should start inking. But I might, your boy's going to scan this in. All right, I think we're done with this nub. I got to send a picture of this nub to Rob Norton when he was using the he kept sharpening a nub like that. Hold on 1 second. All that time I didn't record to do my short. I moved some stuff around to give me space to draw. But now that I forget about turning on my cell phone, which is what I use predominantly, 100% for shorts and Instagram reels. But now I end up forgetting about. it, and I don't hit record, or I don't take a picture. This thing is tough. I move this over. All right, so because this is so small, that means I'm going to have to put a ton of work on the detail here, so I'm up for it. All right, so he doesn't really show that many shots. I keep showing Betty. Yeah, but it's basically a tight turtleneck with this right here. One of the things that I've been trying to do is really emphasize form and weight on the body and on clothing and stuff like that. I do a lot of superhero drawings, so the benefit of the superhero is they don't wear too much. So I don't end up having to draw too much clothing, and hopefully this will change some of that. This isn't gonna be too realistic. I'm gonna try to make it stylistic, but at least it's gonna be detailed. But I have a collection of what I consider pulp hero comic movies, right? And I have them in order, not necessarily in the order that they came out, but in the year of where the movies would have taken place. So the Rocketeer and the Phantom, I have the Billy Zane Phantom movie, which is great too. He got a sharp shoulder, so let's do that. Yeah, I'm also taking advantage of how quiet the day is. Taking advantage of my son's schedule. He works tomorrow, but I think I get to bring him in early, so I should be able to be streaming again tomorrow. I'm really trying to push these watch hours. Don't mind me if I get quiet, peoples. You know how you get when you're drawing, kind of like just get into the groove of it. I do want to show his eyes, so I gotta imagine. Right, if that was his eye line, his nose would be here, and his mouth would be here. I'm gonna imagine him grimacing. Why not? His the helmet, as cool as it is, really difficult to draw. It's kind of goofy too. If it looks better at an angle, which is probably why. Well, one second. We must be getting a delivery. I'm looking at this drawing, this one in particular. The helmet is not quite at that angle, but it helps. It helps to imagine what it looks like. I think this one here is probably the closest. Interesting. That kind of changes. Now that I got a ghost image of his face inside the helmet, it should help me. So the eyes, that means the goggles here. Even the wicked for the day of evil. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged. And by the fear of the Lord, men depart from no nose hole. So that's his mouth. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. Better is a little with righteousness. 3 in the middle. One here. One here. And here. The Lord directed his steps. Commit thy word, son, to the Lord. I wonder, it probably has a netting inside. He didn't really trying to create some helmet rendering, but they didn't really do that much rendering on the helmet, except for when he did his bigger pieces here. Even there, that's not too rendered. Yeah, very subtle. Okay, we'll figure it out. I also got some, probably can't see because I lean over here. I got Pinterest open on my other monitor here. Let me scooch it up closer. And they really don't, not a lot of artists actually put too much detail. Okay, that was actually pretty good. Well, we're gonna have to figure it out. Yep, we'll just figure it out. All right, let's just keep going. Yes. The rich man's wealth is the strong city, and has an high wall in his own conceit. This for destruction, the heart of man is haughty. I don't know how I would be able to. Well, it doesn't matter. Before honor is humility. The righteous runneth into it, and is saved. The name of the Lord. I don't know if that works. It kind of looks cool. This dude wasn't very consistent, even with his own design. Well, who am I to argue? One of the tricks I like to use is when I use the side of the pencil. It affords you kind of like this freedom where you don't have to be too precise. But if you get it right, then all of a sudden you have the lines where you can follow to create precise lines. And he has these here so he can breathe. And a poor man is better than alive. Let's go. Oh, my shoulder. I'm just going to do that. It'll save me hours. He had a rivet here. Should I give him the superhero eyes? Which is basically the Angry eyes. When I do ink this, I'm going to try to really lean into the way he would have inked, even though that's going to be a huge challenge, period, just because he was just a master at it. But I'm going to try. So I'm trying to, with that in mind, I'm trying to pencil these shading areas similar to what he would have done inking. So I can keep that in mind, because I know while his was instinctual, so I have to plan mine out a bit better. I have to plan out mine more mechanically than he would have done something organically. You feel me? And what I'm doing, I'm just looking back at this black and white image, and I'm just trying to imagine some of these lines here. That's all. I'm trying to crib as much from the source as possible, even though, like I said, I have Pinterest open and it has a bunch of other artist versions of it. I don't want them to sway me away from what my original intention is to give props. He also had a tendency to draw his eyes inside the helmet more cartoonishly. Look at that. Look at that eye. It just looks like a floating, but it works so well inside. And I guess you would have to. So I don't know if that's what I want to do, but it just looks so cool. It definitely looks cool. So I'm still kind of like compositionally with the drawing. I'm trying to figure that out. I don't know. It's going to look good because he did it. So maybe I should keep that in mind and just respect the process. All right, so a little helmet. I'm just imagining the anatomy inside the helmet, right? Because that's his nose. That's just the nose, the bottom of the eye. What would be the eyebrow? I guess we could enlarge the eye. If I make it a bit more angular, then he looks a bit more determined and less scared or in shock the way he's usually drawn. And do we want him looking at us or off screen? It is a cover, right? So I'm just giving 3D shape to the eye, and then I'll figure out where I'm going to have it pointed. Measure the eye. I think they have to be lower. I could put some tears in there. He is friggin' the G-forces, man. The G-forces. I don't know how that's gonna look. I guess it wouldn't matter how often you flew with a jetpack strapped to your back. You're always gonna have a face of surprise. You know what? I can't do it. Love you, buddy. Mean it. Love the artwork. Mean it. But I just can't. I'm gonna have to give him the eyes that I would draw. This line has to be inside this line. I guess. It's hard to see that, but that is the other earpiece. So whatever that vent piece on the side of the helmet. There. I'll tighten the lines a bit better as we go. How high up does this thing go? Here. I'm gonna have to pull out the French curves. All right, let's see. Just give them the eyes I would have given them.
So you're already using ChatGPT, and while that's awesome, there is one little problem. You're not making any money with it. And I'll tell you right now what you don't need. You don't need a better prompt. In fact, you can be the best prompt engineer on the planet, and that's not going to make the cash register ring. My name is Matt Light, and since 2008, we've been helping businesses of all sizes, from brand new startups all the way to over $100 million and more, to use AI and chatbots to absolutely
Good luck to me trying to figure out how I'm gonna paint ink over that. That glare needs to be bigger. I'm going to be leaning in left and right on this thing because I'm not sure if that works. The positioning of the eyes inside. I may have to make them smaller to work. Trying, bro. I am sorry, I need to slapping lips. I'm trying to Because I might just do the penciling on this run and get ready, and then come back later on today to do the inking. Not that I'm trying to rush, but I'm just trying to figure out. I don't like that. How many buttons you got? Four on top. What's up, Chris? 1 sec. What does he? I'm gonna have to look at what the top of his that jetpack looks like. I think it just looks like a bullet, right? It has a fin, which you probably won't see, but it has a dial in the center. I'm using this that image there and that image there.
Why do people not know that Flomax can cause ejaculation issues in about 13% of
Okay. That's right. So you need to know. It probably wouldn't be so prominent there either. That goes whoosh. I'm definitely going to end up rewatching that movie. The line is, how do I look like a hood or not? It's too good. All right. How do you draw that in perspective? It comes out the back of the coconut and this way. And I think my fin's too big. That look right to you? Is the fin too small? Because there, are you referring to Jennifer Connelly? I jokingly said that she played the same character, if that's who you're referring to. She played the same character in that movie and Dark City. Dark City was my jam. This gives me my angles for my action. fit his eyes inside this suit. I mean, this helmet. So I have to imagine the whole thing. I don't think I'm gonna add his eyes at all. I don't know if that would work. It might work. Oh yeah, that kind of works. Bless you. I just don't know how I would ink that. That means the mouth has to be smaller. We're coming together. It's coming together. I made the helmet too big, I think. But I made it big to compensate that a person is actually wearing it. But it gives the impression that the head is too big. Go figure. I would have been laughing if my camera was off. Okay, so eyes, angry face, angry face. I'm drawing through the helmet just so I can see what the face would look like inside. Just for placements. For the features of the helmet. It helps me anyway. Nose. He's grimacing. He's trying to get to Betty. That's what the Nazis do, I guess. And his chin, which we won't show. I'm drawing way too many grimacing heroes. Okay, so that means that the mouthpiece. Something like that, maybe, perhaps. Makes kind of sense. Doo 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 doo. Does that translate? I guess I can make this a little bit sharper. I really don't know how I'm going to do.
Always feeding everyone apple. He said just about. She whips up 3 days worth of food. She feeds friends, neighbors, even the mailman. These are their bananas. Where does she shop? Wayne Dixon, where she gets all of her fresh Latin flavors. Deless. Que bueno. You know Brian has to buy phone, right, Abuelita? Whether you have money or not, I highly recommend you get this. If you own a car, even if it means skipping a burger, you need to add these to your toolbox. Every tool in here is a literal lifesaver. Whether you're popping panels or yanking clips, it's a total piece of cake.
I don't know if it reads. I'm hurting here. The mouth crooked. Is that what's bothering me? It being weird because it sounded like it's raining. That grill like this is going to bother the hell out of me. Definitely overthinking it. Oh, I didn't check. I didn't get a chance to check it out. I'm gonna have to do it now. You a Gorillaz fan? That's good. Nice. I'll definitely have to check it out. How long has it been? I'm afraid to ask because lately everything has been 20 years ago. Yeah, so how long has it been since the latest? Feels good. Come here. Hand drawn animation? Oh man. That's cool. That's definitely cool. Oh yeah. Yeah, man. I wasn't a. I wouldn't say I was a huge fan of their stuff, but it didn't like. I didn't turn sour from it. You know, poppy, catchy. I'm like doing all this detail on the eyes, and I have no idea. Yeah, I feel that. You don't mind them, but you love the artist. They bring. Yes, exactly. I don't know what I'm gonna do the inking to even show these eyes. I have to be microns or something. I think I already know I'm gonna have a bunch of fun inking this just because of all the feathering I'm gonna be doing with that with the brush. None of this is gonna make sense, but it's gonna be great. Yeah, I don't mind music that I don't like music that's distracting. If we could just play, you could get the occasional toe tap. I'm all for it. I don't listen to too much music with words in it, unless it's older music. And the occasional gangster boogie. I wouldn't like your music. You a musician as well? Or are you talking about your music taste? I think here I'm gonna make a little glint. Boing. But I am not snooty. I enjoy all types of music. It's just sometimes it's more mood like.
One third is bigger than one quarter. One half is the same as 2 1/4 or 3 1/6. This is the magnetic fraction playbook, perfect for little kids learning fractions. This terms is tricky.
All I know is that if it's a weekend, if it's the weekend and you're trying to clean your house, you got to put on Spanish music. And your house will be cleaned. That's a tradition on all Spanish households. All right, I might have to look at some reference for his fuego, or maybe not. That's one thing I'm trying to figure out this year with my artwork: interiors and effects. If I can do that, I'll be gold. I'll be happy. Which means when I color this, it might be a problem because he's brownish, the suit is brown, golden helmet, silver, and then gold again. There's not enough in between to make it pop, so it's just gonna be one brown piece. So the ink's gonna have to be bueno. The rocket's too big. My wife is more eclectic than I am. Well, she used to be. We kind of settled on to the same stuff lately. But when we first met, she was into heavy metal and stuff like that. And I was in a weird phase musically. I was bumping to some serious gangster rap, West Coast gangster rap, and Spanish music. Go figure. And salsa music from the 70s and 80s, which, unfortunately, in my opinion, was its peak, and has never been able to match that type of oompage. I don't consider what Bad Bunny does as salsa music. His last album has salsa tones, which is probably why I like that album more than most of his other stuff. But you, uh-oh, don't be renewing old rivalries, bruh. As if it's old. This thing's still fresh. But yeah, I used to love me some gangster rap. So you can imagine light-skinned Latino boy in the East Coast bump into some West Coast gangster stuff. Fuego. I had to shrink the rocket. All right. Huh. Yeah. I gotta check. I don't want any tangents.
On the baby. Get a snack for my milk. Watch these.
That's close enough.
I call it the miracle of miniaturization.
This is the top secret project you've been working on?
I'm curious. I wonder if it's action pose. Maybe I could crack. Because he got a scene in here where his visor is cracked. Maybe I can do that. If I'm so dead set at showing his eye. I watched, I was there for a while, maybe about an hour of it. I think by the time I peeped out, Rob was nearly done with his piece. It's good stuff, though. Those are professionals, man. All right. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Put some battle damage. I did have the intention of rewatching it. No, that way. Could get the eye in there. Yeah, I think I saw you pop on there in the chat too. Uh, oh no, yeah, nothing wrong with that, bro. I'm what did my wife call me? A a live stream hua. Yeah. Just giving out some live stream love, man. She called me a hua. Yeah, now I get the best of both worlds. The Pfizer's battle damage, the eyeball. Him and the Hulk. Betty. That would be an interesting crossover of the Rocketeer and the Hulk trying to save Betty. Cut his eye. Get some blood in there. I think that was it. What are you in the 140 mark? Yep. I think that rate's pretty good. I almost wish I would have turned the figure more.
At least there's free cancellation on most stays, so you can wait for perfect weather. Gorgeous. If a vampire can find their perfect stay, anyone can.
Right, I'm going to let me fix this for a second. Yeah, I'm usually the same. I will check out who's there, and I give equal love to the people I subscribe to. I try to. That was one thing I was talking to my wife about yesterday. Is the amount of time you end up being on the YouTube app. It's really not healthy. As a YouTuber myself, you know, it's not necessarily the healthiest thing. All right. I'm trying to figure out a spot so I can do these speed lines here. Might be. That might work. Did I do it right? Yon Benegue. I'm sorry if I have mispronounced your name. Can I call you Ion? Ion V? Hello there. Welcome. I didn't see you there. You snuck up on me. How you doing today? So that's my spot. Still trying to figure out. I just have to, honestly, I just got to commit. Commit to where the speed lines are going to be and just go for it. If it looks whack, blame somebody. Right? You got to blame somebody. This might be too much noise when it comes to the inking part, but meh. Let me see what I can find to render smoke. think I'm just gonna subdue it. Maybe if I use my ruler. This is definitely one thing also. Perspectives, interior, and effects is one of the things I'm going to try to push for my artwork this year. If I'm going to be trying to doing these homages or these fake covers, I gotta. And if I'm trying to do collaborations with other artists and those artists are inkers, now at least got to give them something that one is worth inking and is challenging and worth it, worth that time and effort. I think I'm doing my horizon line, not my horizon, but my effect line too high. I might have to do it this way. I really have no idea. Yeah, man. Natural environments, yeah. Yeah, man, me too, bruh. Full settings is what I'm looking to try to figure out. What is with these things with cats, bro? Yeah, I just quite didn't consider this part. I can cheat, right? So it's going to be white, so this can be dark. It's going to just look like a rocket. Like a Rocketeer. Oh my goodness. See if that works. The thing also is that on some of these, 90% of these drawings that I'm doing, I'm not planning that often. I'm kind of spontaneously trying to figure this thing out on the fly. So may not always be successful. All right, so it's going to be white, hot white because of the rocket, some effects, some lines, and then another set. So it'll look like maybe a sonic boom or something, or kind of like an impact. Boop, boop. I'm going to thicken his outlines. When hey, drawing while talking, how are you? Oh, I can see that. Or you mean this here? That's funny. Cut the line. So I can do dual lighting, which is always cool. I can give him his brown color of the jacket here, maybe a hot color underneath. Cool hat. I'm definitely going to try to clean this up as much as possible. So it'll be easier when I go ahead and ink. Which I'll be doing later on today. I'll close out of this for a bit, and then I'll see you guys later on in the afternoon. You know what? His this is supposed to be his rocket, but it just looks like it's part of the fin of his helmet. So I'm gonna say that it is the fin of his helmet. And I'm not gonna bother drawing the rocket. I think the angle that I have him in, you wouldn't be able to see it anyway. Because it'll be right. If that's his back, then it's kind of like that way. Makes sense? Makes sense to me. Thank you, guys. Overruled.
I make less money than friends who barely passed high school. Here's what I finally discovered. Last week, a kid I tutored in high school posted on Facebook. He just moved partnering with Walmart. Bought a vacation home.
All right, so I'm going to do darker lines on the thicker lines.
I tutored him because he struggled with concepts I understood.
There's this one. Hold on one second, gents. Can I stream music from a previous stream? Stream a stream? All right, so I'm probably going to erase some of these lines just so that I can darken the lines. have to do it without my glove because the kneaded eraser gets caught in my gloves. And it leaves really weird marks when it's dirty. Well, I lost something. I wonder if I could get, maybe I'll be able to get it online. I want to get his lettering for the Rocketeer. And then I can really make it look like a cover. Know what I mean? Like, that's cool. We shall see. Right now, let's just focus on this. All right, back to my gloves. Move something around, moving around. 1 second. Yes, I will be streaming later. So, yeah, I'll see you then. I'm going to try to get this tightened up, which I think I got the lines where I want them to. And then I'm going to ink it. I'm going to be inking it live as well. I want to try to get it so that ready enough to paint tomorrow. But I have some other steps that I got to do first. So we'll see. But yes, I will be on. Enjoy your lunch, bro. Give me 1 second. Plus, it's getting warm in my office, in my studio. The big guns, the French curves. I don't like iced coffee or cold coffee, and that coffee's been sitting there, and I regret that sip. Ooh, that's tight. I probably won't be doing all this tightening up on screen. Sorry, I didn't mean to whistle in the air. Yeah, man. That, ooh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Whatever works, whatever curve works, I am using. Give this a weird, uncanny look.
Because land that supports all this
This land that can support us all.
Organic Valley, protecting where your food comes from.
It's incredible. I've actually been contributing to Storyblocks for 8 years now, with over 800 of my clips available to download. But what really sets them apart is you get unlimited downloads for a predictable subscription fee. Even better, their entire library is authentic content created by real people like myself.
Finally put these things to work. Are they the same? I like that one right there. Nope. We gotta make it match. That's almost the perfect shot. Okay. Reload it. estamos? 2 hours in? I think we're doing all right. All right, so these come around that corner. All right, so party peeps, I think what I'm gonna end up doing for the rest of the day, I'm gonna close out of this live. I'm going to just clean up my lines, and I'll be seeing you guys later on this afternoon. Maybe in a couple hours, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock rock. Barring any other inconvenience. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna tighten up the lines, try to get it ready, and then I'll be scan it in, print it out to something a little bit tighter and cleaner that's not so messy. I am digging into this paper, even though this is soft lead. I don't want to risk going in here with an inking tool and getting a bump or getting an error happen while I am inking. So there he is, the Rocketeer, flying towards the viewer. Let me see if I can zoom out a bit so you guys can see. Whoop. The majority of it. Rocketeer. These are going to be effect blasts. I'm also thinking about painting it, so I'm going through all 3 different phases as I'm drawing. I want to ink to finish. Excuse me. I'm going to draw to finish. They could look nice. Draw to be inked. And then we're going to ink it so that we can prep it for paint. All right. So appreciate you guys this morning, hanging out with me this morning. Towards the afternoon. I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Peace.